everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you multiple ways of doing marble nails with inks and gel polish and pens. So I've started off with Vintage Rose as my base for all 5 nails because I wanted them all to be sort of matching, so you could see the different effects in like the same sort of colour schemes, so you could see the difference between them all. So I've popped that as my base layer on each nail. Some of them will have a matte top coat on and some will have the shine removed and stuff like that, but I'll tell you as I go along which one is which. So with this one, I'm just popping all these different colours down here. So we've got Come What May, I think there was Pretty Polly and Vintage Rose. And I'm just using this end, which is almost like a dotting tool. And I'm just basically throwing them all together, and then I'm just going to pick them up with a nail art brush. I didn't choose a very good brush to do this with, but once I started I just thought, well, what's the point of stopping now? So I just got into it anyway. So I'm just applying it, as you can see, just all over randomly, just creating lines between the different colours. I did think afterwards that it probably would have made more sense for me to do this with darker colours or brighter colours or just something more noticeable for you, but never mind, obviously I've already filmed it now, so it's just the techniques that is more important anyway than the colour, so it's fine. So I'm just going in with this all over the nail, just making sure that I don't have any areas that are too thick, because obviously it is gel polish and it's still got to cure. And then once I finish that, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one we're using Blossom Base Coat. So I'm just popping a layer of that over my colour. My colour's still got the tacky layer on as normal, there's no need to remove it. And then we're just going to go in with a detail brush and just literally add in some lines and then just swirl them all together. It's that simple. Okay, so this next nail that's coming up is the quickest of all of them, and I really like the effect it gives. So I'm literally just starting off with a coat of my base colour, and then we're basically just going to pick up the darker colour and pop lines on top of that. So we're making sure that the layer at the bottom is wet, because then I don't really have to, obviously I've already got colours decanted onto my palette, but if I didn't, I wouldn't have to decant the lighter colour as well, because it's already like on the nail sort of thing, so it's not a necessity. And then I'm just throwing on some lines all over the place with the darker colour. Obviously, if you're using multiple colours like 5 or 3 or whatever, however many you're using, you just put them all on, and then at the very end just grab your brush and just start from the top corner, work your way down, creating straight lines across the nail. It doesn't have to be straight, you can make them wiggly, but yeah, that is literally it, and that is all you have to do for this nail, and then you're done. So next up we're using pens. So obviously you can use Sharpies if you like, but I'm just using permanent markers. I think I got this whole set of like 20 for like £2 or something ridiculous. So I'm just going in with these pens now and creating some random scribbles on the nail. And then once I've done that, I'm going to use acetone to blend them all into each other. You can really use your brush with this stage with the acetone to create really fine lines, and obviously that's what gives you the effect of a certain marble. So if that's what you're going for, it's really simple. The more acetone you apply to a certain area, the lighter it will be, so you can create darker and lighter spots as well just with your acetone. You have got to bear in mind that acetone will start to melt your colour underneath, so you've got to be careful not to mess with it for too long and not to use it too wet. So make sure that you take majority of it off your brush before you use it, so then it will evaporate before it has chance to melt your colour. So this last one is very similar to how I did the marker nail one. So we're just going to apply our inks all over. I'm using Magpie Beauties, but obviously you can use whichever ones you like, whichever colours in whichever pattern you'd like. So I'm just going in with these ones. It's the deep red and pink, applying them whereabouts I want them, and then basically just doing the exact same as I did with the marker nail. I'm just going in with a brush and some acetone and just dispersing them wherever I want. You don't have to use acetone, you could use whatever you want, like prep and dehydrate, isopropyl alcohol. They just everything moves at a different pace, like with different things. So acetone for me works the best because it's the quickest way, because it actually disperses it really fast, whereas I find isopropyl alcohol sometimes can be a bit of a pain because it doesn't move it as much as you want it to. But obviously if you didn't want to create a lot of marbling, then prep and dehydrate or isopropyl alcohol would be a really good idea, but I'm getting acetone again. So yeah, that's it for this video really. I have included obviously a little clip at the end of them all so you can see the difference between them. They were really difficult to photograph because they were so pale, but never mind. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll be back really soon. Bye.